Eleanor de Clare, jure 6th Lady of Glamorgan, was a powerful English noblewoman who married Hugh le Despenser, 1st Baron Despenser, and was the granddaughter of Edward I of England. With her sisters, Elizabeth de Clare and Margaret de Clare, she inherited her father's estates after the death of her brother, Gilbert de Clare, 8th Earl of Gloucester, 7th Earl of Hereford at the Battle of Bannockburn in 1314. She was born in 1292 at Caerphilly Castle in Glamorgan, Wales, and was the eldest daughter Gilbert de Clare, 6th Earl of Hertford, 7th Earl of Gloucester, 5th Lord of Glamorgan and HRH Princess Joan of Acre. As a co-heiress with her sisters Elizabeth de Clare and Margaret de Clare, in 1314 she inherited the de Clare estates including the huge feudal barony of Gloucester, following the death of her brother, Gilbert de Clare, 4th Earl of Gloucester at the Battle of Bannockburn. The partition was not fully settled until 1317. During this period the family seat of Caerphilly Castle was held by the king under the stewardship of Payn de Turberville of Coity Castle. In protest against Turberville's mistreatment, the Welsh nobleman Llywelyn Bren and his supporters launched a surprise attack on 28 January 1316, and besieged Caerphilly Castle, which successfully held out under the command of the Lady of Clare and a small garrison until relieved by Sir William Montacute on 12 March 1316. In May 1306 at Westminster, Eleanor married Hugh le Despenser the Younger, the son of Hugh le Despenser, Earl of Winchester, by his wife Isabella de Beauchamp, daughter of William de Beauchamp, 9th Earl of Warwick. Despenser thereby became Lord of Glamorgan. Her grandfather, King Edward I, granted Eleanor a dowry of £2,000 sterling. Eleanor's husband rose to prominence as the new favourite of her uncle, King Edward II of England. The king strongly favoured Hugh and Eleanor, visiting them often, and granting them many gifts. One foreign chronicler even alleged that Edward was involved in a Rematilda copyright Tilda choice with his niece and her husband. Eleanor's fortunes changed drastically after the invasion of Isabella of France and Roger Mortimer, following which her husband Hugh le Despenser was executed. Hugh le Despenser, 2nd Baron le Despenser, eldest son and heir. Elizabeth le Despenser, wife of Maurice de Berkeley, 4th Baron Berkeley. In November 1326, Eleanor was confined to the Tower of London. The Despenser family's fortunes also suffered with the executions of Eleanor's husband and father-in-law. Eleanor and Hugh's eldest son Hugh le Despenser, 2nd Baron le Despenser, who held Caerphilly Castle against the Queen's forces until the spring of 1327, was spared his life when he surrendered the castle, but he remained a prisoner until July 1331, after which he was eventually restored to royal favour. 3 of Eleanor's daughters were forcibly veiled as nuns. Only the eldest daughter, Isabel, and the youngest daughter, Elizabeth, escaped the nunnery, Isabel because she was already married, and Elizabeth on account of her infancy. In February 1328 Eleanor was freed from imprisonment. In April 1328, she was restored to possession of her own lands, for which she did homage. In January 1329 Eleanor was abducted from Hanley Castle by William Zouch, 1st Baron Zouch of Mortimer, who had been one of her first husband's captors, and who had led the siege of Caerphilly Castle. The abduction may in fact have been an elopement. In any case, Eleanor's lands were seized by King Edward III, and the couple's arrest was ordered. At the same time, Eleanor was accused of stealing jewels from the Tower of London. Sometime after February 1329, she was imprisoned a second time in the Tower, and was later moved to Devizes Castle. In January 1330 she was released and pardoned, after agreeing to sign away the most valuable part of her share of the lucrative Clare inheritance to the Crown. She could recover her lands only on payment of the enormous sum of £50,000 in a single day.